Hello and welcome into another video, and today's video is definitely a weird one, and I'm actually going to start with a bit of rambling before I get on to what I'm essentially calling the Triforce challenge, and I'll explain my whole thing with that as well. But basically, I know when doing videos and everything, I always say it's not about the video footage, it's about the whole, what my actual video idea is, and my voice and everything, and I just have footage playing in the background, and I prefer to just play live even if it's not always going to be the best thing, which for this it definitely will not be, because I have only ever beaten this game once. It is brutally difficult, and yeah, but I'm not going to talk much about that. My point is, and I apologize to do this to you, because I understand as soon as I point it out, if you haven't already seen it, there's a white line just above the level 9 on OBS today, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what the fucking hell I'm doing wrong with OBS, and I know the footage doesn't usually line up a lot of the time anyway. Trust me when I say it's actually lined up for me. I cannot figure out this this software. Essentially, I have a little black box. I put the screen in the black box, everything lines up perfectly, and it says that that's what the screen, what you should be seeing is. And then I'll put videos on, and it's like the screen will have a black bar at the bottom that isn't supposed to be there. And it's like, well, that's clearly not filling the screen. And at this moment in time, it's a white line, and I don't know why. So yeah, that, I know this is a weird start to the video, but I'll be honest, there's not much to this video other than the fact that I want to talk about a weird challenge idea I've had, because at the end of the day I've got no actual viral ability here. I've got nowhere am I going to do something and this will take off type thing, but every now and then someone has ideas that does take off, you know, and it's like, build your best lineup of DS games with only $20, and then they'll put them in different tiers, or build your perfect Nintendo library, again $20, or like build a team of superheroes to save you type thing with $20. But there's a bunch of others that don't actually revolve around the dollar thing. It's like building a Venn diagram essentially, and a Triforce is kind of the perfect Venn diagram. So not that this will ever take off, but my idea was, what if you actually make your own personal Triforce, you know, and it would be, the video game would be the center, and for me it would be Zelda at the end of the day. Like, obviously not this Zelda, it would be specifically Ocarina of Time. It's kind of the main reason that I'm still alive on this planet. This is not a trauma dumping video. I always warn when those are coming up there, but I was just going to say there is that video if you are interested, because I promise you it might not be what you're thinking. But yeah, for me, the game would be the middle, but then I'd be nominating something for my Triforce of Courage, my Triforce of Wisdom, and my Triforce of Power. And I then figured, and I understand there's other forms of media, but at this moment in time, it's kind of safe to say the most popular media are things you interact with, like video games, things you read in a book, or a comic or manga or graphic novel or anything, any form of reading. I'm not trying to gatekeep or anything, I read all of that myself. Then something you watch, so be it television or movie, or I'd even go as far to say if you want to put YouTube or something on there, you know. And then I'm already drawing a blank. I know fine well I had this, and it's like, as soon as you start to voice it out, it's which ones have you already said. It's the ADHD of it. So I've done book, I've done movie, and I've done video game as the actual overall thing. Music. There we go. I knew it would eventually come to me by the fact that I'm listening. Oh yeah, I've got the death music there, and that can be all it takes. So music, so it would be, I'm not going to say a song. You can, I mean, obviously you could nominate a song, but ideally either an artist or an album, and I personally was leaning towards album, because this is one where I think I'd rather the Triforce be essentially made of the art that you want. So what is your personal Triforce? And a brief explanation why, essentially. And I know this is a weird thing, but I just thought, once the idea popped into my head, I was like, what would mine be, and then how would I do it. And at first I didn't even have video game in there, to be honest, because the whole point is Triforce 3 and that. And I'm going to, for the sake of everyone, because I loaded up my actual file, and again, I have literally only ever beat this once, and I figured maybe I'll just walk around and I'll exit the final castle, and at least that way I'll have items. Forgetting the final castle is a fucking nightmare in this game, so I'm better off going on the Master Quest thing, even though, like, I don't know anything about this and don't ever want to go for it. But anyway, let's get into it. I don't know which one to start with first, because there's no right or wrong for starting with first, but I guess I'll go Triforce of Power, then Triforce of Courage, and finish with Triforce of Wisdom. And for my Triforce of Power, I am going to be saying for my favourite book, it's The Lord of the Rings, because The Lord of the Rings was one of my biggest gateways into fantasy. Zelda was my actual first, but I then found out, like, to go from Zelda to Lord of the Rings as my fantasy pipeline, and then discover so many other kinds of fantasy and realise, am I actually into fantasy? Like, fantasy makes up a huge part of my everything. Like, I love the Zelda franchise with all my fucking heart, and I love Lord of the Rings, but I'm starting to think, do I actually like fantasy, or do I just like Zelda and Lord of the Rings? Yeah, fantasy is one of those where the genre has some of the highest highs and some of the lowest lows, and I can't even remember what the bad fantasy was. I just know that after Lord of the Rings, I'm like, oh, I must like fantasy, because this is two things, and then the third thing I tried, I'm like, what in the fuck is this? So yeah, Lord of the Rings is my Triforce of Power, because it gives me hope. And that's kind of the whole point of the story, is it's the rings, funnily enough, of power, the magical rings, and it's a story of essentially hope and how capitalism and all of these awful monsters will eventually collapse in on themselves, because this kind of system is designed to. It will eventually end, and shit will hopefully get better. I mean, shit will get worse before it gets better, but that's the whole point. It's about hope and rebuilding, and, like, everything that Gondor went through and has to rebuild, and everything that the Rohan went through and has to rebuild, and everything that the Shire went through, because if you actually read the book, you know what happened to the fucking Shire. I adore the movies. I truly do. There is a fucking reason my channel has Fellowship in it. There truly is. I was so close between, do I go for a Zelda thing, or do I go for a Lord of the Rings thing, and I'm like, how else am I going to get Lord of the Rings on this fucking channel? I'll go for Fellowship. There are other reasons why Fellowship is part of this name as well for my online handle, but that is for a totally different video. So yeah, it gives me hope, it gives me power, because hope is powerful. There is few things as powerful as hope. So my Triforce of Power has to be The Lord of the Rings. It just, no ifs, ands or buts. And obviously, before anyone gets into the whole, is that cheating with it's more than one book? No, it isn't. It's one book that they split into three because people complained. It is one book. Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King. It is one book. I mean, on a technicality, you can see it's multiple books in a novel, because there's a lot of things that I read that do that. Pretty much every John dies at the end book is book one, book two type thing, you know? But anyway, so moving on, I will go for my Triforce of Courage, and that is where I'm going to nominate music. This is where I'm going to nominate Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, because that was the first album that truly spoke to me, because of the whole PTSD side of things, like everything to do with Linkin Park. It's just good. Chester was someone who was so severely important to me, it's unbelievable, and he definitely gave me courage in life and made me understand that shit could get better and you could go forward and you could get past a bunch of trauma. And then obviously everything happened with him losing his life, and it destroyed me, and basically I had to navigate a world without Chester, because he truly was the guy that I was kind of going, hey, you've had a truly horrific childhood too. Yeah, I vibe with you a hell of a lot, and if you can do it, then maybe I can. So when he couldn't do it anymore, that kind of destroyed me, but I'm still here, and I'm still doing it, and I know fine well being able to listen to Hybrid Theory on days when it is severely bad, I can put that album on, and it can give me just what I need. It truly can. So, without a shadow of a doubt, Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory had to be my Triforce of Courage. So on to the Triforce of Wisdom. And this is where I finally nominate a TV show. There's a lot of things that I could have done. I was never going to do the Lord of the Rings movies here because that would be pointless. The books are better than the movies. Again, the movies, I adore them. And I know this is a sidebar, but the ending of Return of the King, the thing that loads of people complain about, how that movie's got so many endings, the actual ending that movie adds in that is not in the book is genuinely one of my favourite things in the history of mankind. It's an old book, it's an old movie, these are spoilers, but I don't want to spoil, because genuinely, if you are one of those people who has managed to avoid and put this off, I will never ever want to spoil Lord of the Rings, so I'm just going to say, how do I put it? I don't think it's too much of a spoiler, seeing as one of the books is literally called Return of the King. The coronation scene, I genuinely wanted that in the book, and it actually always annoyed me. It's like the one part of that media that always irked me, and I wanted it in the book. So when I saw it in the movie, I broke down. So yeah, I almost wanted to cheat with that, but at the same time I never would because of the books. But I still thought I should mention it. But it has to be, it's technically a TV and movie situation, because it's a 26 series episodic season, whatever word you want to call, because I know some countries do it different. Like, we used to see a series in the UK, and now I think we finally started to see a season because it's what they see in America. And I actually think season makes sense a bit, but series, like, either way, this is a huge tangent. 26 episodes, and then, if memory serves, if you watch the movie between episode 22 and 23, that is the best time for you to do so. It's Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is one of the most important pieces of media in my entire life, and it has to be my Triforce of Wisdom, because that show broke my brain in so many of the best fucking ways. It's unbelievable. It's a show that really, really, really shits on capitalism. Just how long have I been lost in this thing, not realising? Holy crap. It's a show that truly does shit all over capitalism. And on top of shitting all over capitalism, it gives you a look into a lot of really bleak situations and scenarios, and a lot of dark, depressing torture experiments in one episode. Like, it is one of the most deeply depressing shows, but at the same time, like, oh my god, the Venusian Seed episode, like, that is one of the most bleakest things I have ever seen, but it's brilliant, it's beautiful, it's breathtaking. I love the music in it from Yoko Kanno. She is my overall favourite composer on this planet, and her band Seatbelts do absolutely amazing work. And again, I know, obviously I've already done a music thing, but Cowboy Bebop is kind of everything. It's the whole audiovisual experience, because her score, her compositions, they never miss. They get the tone perfect every time, to the point of that if you've never seen the show and you just listen to the music, you'll know what's going on. As weird as that is to fucking see, she nails the fucking brief. So I had to mention Yoko Kanno, because at the end of the day, she's my favourite fucking composer. She's an absolute masterpiece. Like, she's everything that I never really got into composers at all. Like, I genuinely, it was a part of music that I always struggled with until Cowboy Bebop came along, and I'm like, I need to find out who makes this, and then I needed to really look into it, and that led me into being able to appreciate music in such a way that then Mozart in the Jungle, which would be an honourable mention, because wow, that show did some stuff to me. But Cowboy Bebop, the show and the movie, I fear Valentine's story the entire way through. It's the first character that I ever truly emotionally bonded for, and was like, I was heartbroken with the way her story goes throughout the entire way. And I'm trying not to obviously see anything spoiler here, by the way, and I don't want you to assume that by heartbreaking I mean that it is automatically a sad ending, because there is so much. Like, Bebop is one of the least binary things ever. It's not a case of this is a good ending or a bad ending. It's not a case of this is a happy ending or a sad ending. It's a lot. And if I need to cry, the fact that I'm fucking tearing up now as well, if I need to cry, I will put that fucking final episode on. It is an absolute masterpiece. It truly is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. I know there's a lot of people who don't actually respect anime as a medium, and it's madness to me, because there are TV shows out there like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, like, fucking, why can't I remember the name of his newest one? Pluribus. There we go. I absolutely love Pluribus. I understand there are some truly fantastic shows. Cowboy Bebop beats them all for me because it's not just the anime side of it, the art, the music, the queerness. Like, there's trans people in it who aren't seen, like, portrayed as awful people. There's people who are very much definitely non-binary. Ed, like, no ifs, ands, or buts, because, for fuck's sake, I literally own the manga. Because, of course, I own the manga, and, of course, it's another thing that's both reading, like, again, this could have been all three subjects. It really could have. In the manga, Ed uses he, him pronouns a lot of the time, and in the anime it's she, her, but then they sometimes swap over in both, and it's because Ed is a gender confusing person. Like, everything about Ed, the fact that Ed's name is, oh my god, I'm gonna fuck this up, Edward Trivoluski. Oh my god, yeah, I know fine well I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm terrible with names, I truly am, and I'd have to actually look it up while I'm doing this, and unfortunately I can't see my phone, but I genuinely am going to do this because it's important to me that I don't fuck it up. So, Ed's full name in Bebop, because I know fine well some of them, but it's the order: Edward Wong Hao Pepperlu Tivruski the Fourth. Yeah, it's a mouthful, and it's because Ed is just a complete and utter chaotic mood. And everything about them. One of my all-time favourite characters. Up there with Ein. Ein is Ed's best friend. Ein is a dog. Ein is a dog with an IQ higher than almost every human in the history of mankind. Ein is brilliant. Everything about Ein. Love him. Spike, main character. He's a chauvinistic pig about a lot of things. Like, he's one of those characters that you're not supposed to like in a lot of ways. Same with Jet Black, to be honest. But I still love the both of them. The voiceovers, the dub, the everything about it. That show is just absolute perfection to me. And the main reason that it is my wisdom is, on top of all of the stuff that it truly does go through, all of the trauma that I'd never seen presented in that way before, all of the awfulness, to be honest, that a lot of the crew go through and a lot of the characters and side characters go through, all of that. It's the spiritual side of things more than anything. And I have been a person who has struggled with spirituality and especially religion for the longest time in my life, and by the time I was done watching Cowboy Bebop, I actually genuinely felt I had a better understanding of spirituality and how it impacts me, and I am not religious at all, and I truly am not, but I am spiritual, and there are messages about death and life and rebirth and fate and meeting people that by the time you finish that fucking show, if it doesn't give you some sort of existential crisis, then I honestly don't know what will. Because it definitely did me, and it's the sort of thing that I spent nights, many nights, lying awake, thinking and pondering because of that show. And it really helped me get through some stuff. And helped me accept a lot of stuff in life. So yeah, Cowboy Bebop, the anime / movie, and again, I'm not trying to cheat there, it is literally, it's just that the movie is part of the story. It's just like the movie is 2-3 long episodes essentially whacked together, and the movie is brilliant, by the way. Vincent is one of the greatest villains in the history of cinema for me, and it's because Vincent isn't really a villain. Again, like a lot of things with Bebop, it's complicated. But yeah, even if I was to just see the TV show without the movie, the TV show alone is absolutely exceptional. The movie's just one of those things that if you like the show, you will love the movie. And if you don't like the show, then you won't like the movie, you know? But yeah. So, I think I am finally done. And I know I really struggle to read comments due to social anxiety and a lot of other things, but I genuinely do like this idea. It's why I've made this video, I've put this passion play out there. So, condense it down, like, do whatever you need to do, turn it into, like, a meme or something, where it is just literally the picture of the Triforce, and you put your something in the middle, your something on each for the power, the courage, the wisdom or something. But if you want to do your own, and try to get this out there, then I would really, really love that and appreciate it. And obviously, there's no like money in this, and I don't give a fuck about even being able to say, "Ha, see, I was the first." I truly do not. I have actually had 2 memes go viral, and I'm not saying what they are. I'm not that kind of person. This is what I mean. I genuinely don't actually want that. I know that I can be funny, and sometimes it's low-hanging fruit, and it's never anything offensive, by the way, either, because that's also not the kind of person I am. I don't go in for the whole punching down. If anything, I always punch up, as is probably apparent on this channel. But yeah, I have actually had 2 memes that eventually someone sent the meme to me, and I had to just laugh, and they're the only people who know that I made that, because I'm like, oh my god, dude, I made this, and it's like, what? It's like, see, I made this. It's like, holy shit, you made this. Like, yep, it's happened to me twice. So I'm not trying to do this with the whole, I want to claim anything. I do not fucking care. The only people who would know. But this is one that it is actually, I genuinely feel a good idea, and I don't care if I ever get credit for it. I just would love to see, as part of the 40th anniversary celebration, essentially, turning this into a thing that spreads some more joy. And yeah, so I don't know if I should actually do essentially the 4th pillar here, the Zelda being in the middle, because I'd like to think, from the fact that I've already mentioned that I'm only alive here because of Ocarina of Time, that yeah, there's stuff there, and I don't want to go deep into it and make this a trauma video. So yeah, I think I will leave it there then, and I'll see you until next time. I've been Sky Fellowship. I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!